Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Kris. This is, look, just so we start, it's going to be a two-parter. It's past the 25-minute mark and I was scrolling ahead and it's like 26 minutes before the ad. Get your coffee, big cup of coffee, and get ready. Because it's 4:32 a.m. on a Sunday morning and I am doing this video because I got to get them done. So this is, how did Islam become a global religion? This was requested, by the way. You can click that thumbs up for me, bare minimum, please. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Click on the thanks button if you want to donate to the channel or sponsor a video. It's up to you. All right, we'll break this down. Be some around. No. Well, this is like, yeah, we'll be somewhere around here. Somewhere around this part. All right, I got nothing else to add, so let's get into it.
Islam, the second most practiced religion on earth, emerges in the 7th century from what many at the time consider a backwater, the desert region of Arabia. The founder of Islam is Muhammad, a merchant born around 570 in the city of Mecca.
I wish he would have said how did he phrase it? I just listened to it. Hold on.
Merchant born around. The founder of Islam.
There you go. I wish you'd have said, can you guess the founder of Islam? I would have said Ted Islam, but I apparently would have been wrong. So, you live, you learn. What does that say? What is this? What? Yeah, Leuke. I can't pronounce it. Comp. Coptos. Sorry, now I'm just trying to name things. Okay, well, back to the video.
Is Muhammad, a merchant born around 570 in the city of Mecca. In about 610, in the cave of Hira, he receives a series of revelations from the angel Jibreel, known in English as Gabriel. These revelations later become the basis of the holy book known as the Quran. The spiritual truth of...
Can you go into the mountain? Or is it kind of like blocked off to where you can go up, but you can't go into that that cave? I mean, not that you're going in and you're going to get hit with some kind of, revelations or anything, but I was just wondering if they had that blocked off. Because that would be a pretty cool visit, I think.
Muhammad's message is a matter of faith. But his life and the impact of his message are to have profound historical significance. At first, Muhammad preaches privately to a select group of family and friends in Mecca. His message centers on the oneness of God, the need for moral reform, and the concept of Islam, submission to God. In time, the followers of this new faith will be known as Muslims. Muhammad then begins to preach in public and gains loyal followers known as the Sahaba. Muhammad's preaching brings him into conflict with members of his own tribe, the Quraysh. The two sides are soon in open war. Around this time, the concept of jihad begins to take shape. Jihad comes to have two meanings. The first, to strive to live in accordance with God's will, through personal effort and moral integrity. The second, physical acts of war, sanctioned by God. After years of conflict with the Quraysh, Muhammad and his followers prevail. And by Muhammad's death in 632, much of Arabia has joined the movement he founded. One of Muhammad's closest companions, Abu Bakr, is chosen as the first caliph, or successor to the Prophet. It is under his leadership and that of his successors that Islam will erupt out of Arabia to transform the Middle East and beyond. Abu Bakr and his successor Omar send Arab armies to attack the two great powers of the age, the Sasanian Empire and Eastern Roman Empire. Both
That's the Sassanids, right? I don't know if I've ever heard him say Sasanian. Not saying it's wrong. I don't know if I've or if I've seen it. I've only heard Sassanid. Huh. Sasanian Empire. Never heard that one. Or if I have, I've blocked it out. All right.
Both are worn down by decades of conflict against each other, and Arab armies strike like a thunderbolt. One by one, the great cities of the Levant, Syria, Egypt, and Persia fall to Muslim forces. The people who live in these lands are predominantly a mix of Christians, Jews, and Zoroastrians. These non-believers are treated as subjects by their new Arab rulers and pay taxes to them, but they can worship freely. There are few forced conversions and little active preaching of Islam, and so the religion spreads slowly at first. Until now, the Quran has been primarily an oral tradition, supported by various written compilations. The exact circumstances are not clear, but during the reign of Caliph Uthman, the Quran is organized into a single text. This remains the basis for the holy book used around the world today. In 656, Uthman is...
I thought that happened in Muhammad's time. So this is about 18 years. He was 632? Or was it 634 that he died? Doesn't matter, but I thought it was 632. Jesus. I'm trying to read the little, I can't really move the mouse, but the little scroll. But if you look up to the top right behind me, it would say it. So I don't have to, sorry, just pointing out how stupid I am at times. So 632. Was it already, it was already pretty much in order, written in a certain order, I believe, because that was one of the last things, was the shuffling around. I don't think that was what it was scientifically called. The shuffle, that's what they called it. But it was arranged or rearranged, however you want to phrase it. Am I confusing myself?
murdered. The Prophet's cousin and Seljuks, Uthman, is murdered. The Prophet's cousin and son-in-law, Ali, is elected the new caliph. But others support Uthman's cousin, the governor of Syria, Muawiyah. This conflict triggers Islam's first fitna, or civil war. It is the root of the later division between Shiite and Sunni Muslims. Shia, from Shiat Ali, the party of Ali. Sunni, from Ala Sunnah, the people of the Prophet's way. In 661, Ali is assassinated by a group who become known as the Khawarij. The Umayyad dynasty seize power, moving the capital of the caliphate to Damascus. In 680, a rebellion...
So, stupid question. Would Ali like his name associated with a group that is a different kind of subsect of Islam, or do you think that he would have wanted his people, because I believe this part, he would have wanted his people to follow what the Prophet did? So I'm not saying that the Shia are wrong. It seems like they've changed it a little bit. I mean, if they're going, I don't know, that's just how it feels to me. I can use the example of Christianity in terms of Jesus wanting to tell everyone, hey, look, there's one God. He's my father, right? He's God. And then people changing that to be following Jesus as Lord and Savior. That's what that kind of feels like. And I'm not trying to put anyone down who, if you're a Shia, okay. It just seems like it's a little off course. Just by looking at this, by what they've just said, that's all I can go by. Seems like it's a little off course.
Rebellion by Ali's son Hussein ends at Karbala, when he and his small band of followers are massacred by Umayyad forces. It is a key moment in the transformation of Shi'ism from political movement to a distinct branch of Islam. Shias will look to the leadership of Muhammad's direct descendants. Sunnis will look back to the time of the Prophet and his companions. The Islamic world, riven by warring factions, plunges into a second fitna. But after 12 years of civil war and turmoil, great new conquests will follow. By 692, the Umayyads regain control of the Islamic Caliphate and resume their conquest of North Africa. Islam spreads quickly among the Berber tribes, and it is a Berber convert, Tariq, who leads Umayyad forces into Iberia. En route, he gives his name to Jabal Tariq, the Rock of Gibraltar. He defeats the Visigoth king Roderick and goes on to conquer much of Spain. The Umayyad Empire now stretches from the Atlantic coast to modern Pakistan. Most of its population remains non-Muslim, but there are now a growing number of converts across North Africa, Persia, and Central Asia, known as Mawali. They are treated as inferiors by the Arab elite, stoking resentment. And in 747, rebellion erupts in Khorasan. The Abbasid family, claiming descent from the Prophet's uncle Abbas, claim leadership of this revolt. In 750, they defeat the Umayyads at the Zab River, then systematically wipe out almost the entire dynasty. Only one Umayyad prince, Abd al-Rahman, escapes to Al-Andalus, where he establishes the independent emirate of Cordoba in 756. The Abbasids build a new capital, Baghdad, which becomes a great center of learning. This is the dawn of what is often called Islam's Golden Age, with remarkable advances in mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and engineering. Shi'ism, now a fully distinct branch of Islam, continues to spread across the caliphate, despite sporadic repression by its Sunni rulers. Sects emerge within Shi'ism, including Twelver Shi'ism, Ismaili Shi'ism, and Zaidi Shi'ism. Sufi movements, which focus on inner spirituality and detachment from worldly distractions, also emerge in this period, though their early history is uncertain. By the 900s, much of Persia, Egypt, and Syria has turned to Islam. There are practical as well as spiritual benefits from becoming Muslim. Adopting the faith of the ruling elite offers advantages in business, networking, and status. But these regions still remain religiously diverse, with large Christian and Jewish communities, as well as several smaller sects. For many years, Muslim traders have been crossing the semi-arid region known as the Sahel into sub-Saharan Africa. Among their purchases, enslaved Africans, to be sold across the caliphate. Following these trade routes, Islam gradually spreads south. In time, as rulers and elites adopt Islam, cities like Timbuktu, Gao, and Kano will become centers of Islamic learning and culture. Muslim merchants also crossed the Arabian Sea and established trading hubs along the East African coast, in modern Kenya, Tanzania, and Zanzibar. These ports become centers of commerce, connecting East Africa to a wider Indian Ocean trading zone. Such complex, long-range commercial networks, of which the famous Silk Roads are also part, help Islam to spread deeper into Central, South, and Southeast Asia. In Central Asia, a semi-nomadic Turkic tribe called the Seljuks.
That's what I did. Okay, I hit the M button. I'm actually going to go back. I know what you're going to say. Why are you doing that? Because that was a good stop point. I know you're saying, but Kris, you only did 11 minutes. I get it, but the next one is not, it's only going to be about 13. So I am going to go back. We are going to call it right here, Seljuks. I want to say Seljuks. We're going to stop it a little bit early. I know what you're thinking. Why can't you do this in one video? Here's why. When I do a 25-minute video, plus any talking, but a 25-minute video, I get eyes on the video for 11 minutes. So because of that, the low eyes, the low average viewpoint, they don't view it as a successful video. If I break it in half and I do this and it's a 15-minute video, I'll get eyes on it for 7 minutes, which they deem it more successful. I don't understand. I think the algorithm is stupid. I also don't have the time to do long videos all the time. Because some people, they'll send me an hour-long video, and this is back when I first started. They'll send me an hour-long video, and I would try to do that whole hour-long video. And that's one video, and I do 11 a week. I just don't have that kind of time. So I know it annoys some people, but it's a fact of life, something that we all have to deal with. So anyways, this is part 1. We'll be back with part 2, but until then, have a good day, have a good night.